Hello and welcome to Football So What in association with Machine Football, the app for everyday football intelligence. This is the weekly international football show with me, Graeme Le Saux.
And me, Charlie Baker. Every week we're sitting down with a figure from the beautiful game to get their take on the current crop of England players and the team's chances ahead of the World Cup.
On this week's show, I'm with David Seaman, and unfortunately Charlie couldn't be with us this week, so I'm going to be joined by the amazing and wonderful Maisie Adam.
What?
You weren't here.
She's really funny. Why have you got someone funny in?
Bar raised.
At the latter years of my England career, where I wouldn't read the papers because I knew that if I read something that was negative, it would affect me.
It would get in your head.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. Would. And before every match, I'd start crying.
Oh, no, you babby.
I know. Thanks for the support.
But how do you feel about players at the back and the art of defending?
It's gone.
I know exactly what you mean. So, like during Euro 96, Ince's room was called the Queen Vic.
No.
It
No.
was because like the lads would go in there, there'd be something to drink. They'd be all watching the telly, but would all go in the room. They'd be smoking and all.
Oh my word.
One of the rounds that we did was genuinely called Poo or Sex.
Oh.
And it was me and Jill hiding behind a screen making sounds like
Yeah, and you must have felt the pressure David feels as a goalkeeper because you were carrying Jill Scott, surely, from the comedy point of
absolutely.
view.
Have you ever met her? Dry as a bone.
Let's talk about England and
Right.
Thomas Tuchel. How are we assessing Thomas Tuchel in terms of where he's at with the squad and what his persona's like, what
I
his
like
PR is like?
I like it. I like what he's doing because he ain't taking any bullshit.
Yeah.
He's doing it his way. He knows he's got a set amount of time. He knows what the agenda is. Go on then, go and win the World Cup. No pressure, but they're capable.
Yeah.
They really are capable.
And it's like he's well, as you say, he's not bending to any kind of exterior pressure of
No.
which I think is sometimes a real. It's weird, isn't it? And maybe like you can obviously like speak to this more than I can, but like the England bubble, it just seems to be this pressure cooker of hype in the run up to a tournament, and everybody sort of puts everything on either the manager or like three particular players, and we're seeing that now of like people are up in arms that he isn't in total adoration of Jude Bellingham,
Yeah.
and they don't like it. But rather than maybe pander to it and go, I understand all this. Tuchel, I quite like that he smirks in his interviews to be like, you might think you know what you're talking about. I'm the one with the job.
Yeah,
Let me crack on.
And he
And
doesn't-
until we've had an actual tournament, we can't make a judgment, I don't think.
No, I agree completely. He's doing it his way. I think the fact that he's not English,
Yeah.
in the sense is that he can be more objective. He doesn't get caught up in the sort of the media narrative.
Do you
or
think
the,
that affects it? Like, if you're English, you've got a bit more of a sentiment
Possibly,
to it. Yeah.
possibly. I mean, obviously we've had non-English managers before, haven't we? So
That went well.
yeah, exactly. And I wasn't. I still sort of find it uncomfortable that we're not able to produce enough quality managers that are available
Yeah.
to have succession planning for England managers being English. Now, I'm not saying that's it's a different conversation in many ways, but I think that the fact that he's come in and he has sort of gone, do you know what? He's got a very distinct remit, hasn't he? Which is you've got to win it. Yeah. Gareth has taken us so far brilliantly over 6 years or 7 years.
Yeah.
And now he's come in and said, right, I've got to win a tournament. Everything's going to be judged on that. Yeah. And he's just gone, right, how do I pick a group of players that fit the way my team needs to play and base it on merit rather than on reputation or the fact that you've got status as a big player.
Yeah.
It's about how all those bits fit together. So I think he's done that really well. And he's set the tone from day one, hasn't he? Where he's just said, you're not playing well enough, you're not in this squad. If you play well enough, you get in the squad. Yeah. If you're not behaving in a way I want you to behave. And he's got the ability at the moment to really try different players out because there's so many choices in most positions.
Mad. It's
which is
mad,
great.
The depth of choice that we have for a squad, right?
Especially like attacking as well.
Yeah.
Like attacking and then just behind like the number 10s. How many number 10s have we got?
Yeah,
it's just scary.
Exactly.
The quality's
exactly.
there, but
with you mentioned about the pressure cooker. I think when we go back to when you and I played, the pressure that we were under.
Really?
I mean, obviously, that was without social media.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
Yeah,
But our
of
social
course.
media was the papers, and they were ruthless.
Yeah,
at times.
and the thing is, you never had a right to reply. So if the Sun wrote something horrific about you,
Yeah.
you could never come
do you
back
mean
on
if?
your
When?
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
But was there an element maybe that you could be less aware of it than you can now with social media? Or I guess
got,
it's
you've
still,
got
it's
an
still
option.
shoved in your
Like,
face.
I
you know?
got to the stage, like the latter years of my England career, where I wouldn't read the papers
Yeah.
on match day.
Yeah.
Because I knew that if I read something that was negative, so something that had written something negative about me, it would affect me.
It would get in your head.
Definitely,
Yeah.
It would. And I was like, I got to the stage, right, well, I don't need that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
And even if they were saying good things about me, I didn't need that either.
Yeah.
You know, because
yeah.
I knew what I could do.
Yeah.
On that mentality thing, how much do you think an England manager has to acknowledge the mental side of their players and less so much the negativity as that, but actually the ego? That's something that we hear a lot about. There was a great take on it I saw from Ashley, who was talking about Jude Bellingham, saying, I don't care that he's got an ego. When you're that good, you can have an ego. But then Thomas Tuchel seems to be taking quite sort of the other way of going, like what you were saying, you're not guaranteed a spot in here just because you're really good. Is there more of an aim for a cohesive unit rather than individual exceptional players?
I would say it's a combination of the two. You can have one or two big personalities and players that have got that, that ego, that alter ego in a way, where they go and perform, because I think the best players need that. They need to be able to go out onto the
they're
pitch.
different.
Yeah.
The best players are different.
And they
you
can
can't
stand,
under
and
that
it's just their
self-reflection.
shoulders go back,
Yeah.
and they can
But then
take
when they
the weight
start
of the team.
disrespecting their own players, then that's a different thing
Exactly.
altogether.
When we played, who do you think handled that best as an England manager in your time? I'm sort of leading the witness here because I
that's
think we're going to say
good.
the same
Terry.
person.
I
Terry
thought Terry
Venables.
was really
exactly.
Really?
Same for me.
Yeah.
He could handle Gaza,
Yeah.
couldn't he?
Yeah,
and
he
deal
just
with
do-
him
yeah,
and give
David
him the
taking
space.
fishing.
David taking fishing. Two of them went. Only one of them came back.
Yeah. That's interesting. You both say Terry Venables.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he had the ability to, from a coach point of view, be brilliant at tactical sort of game plan per game. He could he'd change things. We had the Christmas tree. We had back four. We played wing backs in some games, and he took us on that tactical journey.
Yeah.
So you totally believed in what he was saying. But on an individual basis, I remember Terry every training session. As we came off the pitch, he'd be talking to someone. It might be you. He'd just come up to you and walk alongside, and he'd start
Yeah.
giving you a few little tips and motivation, and he had real empathy and really understood the individuals. Is that?
Oh, he was brilliant, and even for me when he first took over, I remember being on after the first training session, and then he coming over to me, and he went, "I just want you to know that you're my number one." And I was like, "Whoa."
But that puts fire in your belly.
That was great,
Yeah, and that is perfect man management, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it'd be very easy to assume, well, David Seaman, of course
Yeah.
he's going to be number one. I don't need to say, but it's the opportunity to build a relationship that he
Yeah.
was brilliant at, and he did it with me because I came in and replaced Stuart Pearce that first game. You were the goalkeeper on my first game, which you must have been thinking, how's he got in at left back? That Le Saux lad, he's rubbish. He's not big. He's not quick. So I saw you standing more to the left of your goal than normal, just to give me a bit of cover.
Over-covering just in case.
But when Terry he called us round the centre circle to name the team, and this is, for your first cap. This is the first time I really felt that I deserved to be in that England squad. I'd been in a few and on the fringes. This is the first time I really felt I was ready to play for England.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I don't know where I'm playing. Fleming Stuart Pearce is left back. And so he gave the team out, Seaman in goal, so-and-so right back, centre-back, and he said the left back, and I was sort of drifting away a little bit, and I was, he got halfway through the midfield, and I was like, did he say my name? And then I couldn't go, excuse me, boss. Can you just,
Did
I'm
you
left
say
back.
Le Saux?
Yeah, did you? Maybe. And
Was that the Switzerland game?
no, Denmark.
Denmark. Oh,
Denmark.
okay.
So it was Terry's first game as
Right,
coach.
with you.
And it was at Wembley. So, for me, playing at Wembley, ahead of Stuart Pearce, in my first time I'd ever played at Wembley for England, from Jersey.
To know you have the trust of the manager.
And he spoke to me about half a dozen times
Wow.
between naming the squad and me playing, just little individual little meetings. I wasn't called to his office or anything like that, but it was he just kept sort of nudging me along. And I'll tell you,
brilliant at
Stuart
it.
Pearce was absolutely incredible as well, because I thought he was going to rip my head off.
Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? You need those figures, those leadership figures. And again, people get up in arms about Henderson still making it into Tuchel's squad, but that's something that's come up time and time again about him, that he's an exceptional leader for the younger lads coming through.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's just that. So Stuart was obviously a senior player, and he came up to me and he sort of put his arm around me and he said, you deserve this. You're so and he made me feel
so
like I was walking on sort of air,
when
really.
you look at like that team as well, when you're talking about leaders, there were so many leaders in that team.
Yeah.
There?
Really?
There was like so many captains.
Too many?
People that were captain of the club.
Too
I
many
don't
that
think
they
so,
didn't
no.
spill over
we
into
didn't get the
struggling
look.
for
The team was a really good team. You know,
Yeah.
like when you look at, I got to Euro 96. You look at how close we were then.
Yeah.
Just that little bit of luck. Guys are thinking the goalie's going to get a
But
touch
it's
on
such
it.
fine things, because how that's great that it was a good vibe, but it can soon spill over into if you've got too many strong leadership roles, it can become a bit of a.
It can, but I think it's about. I think the brilliant thing about that, it was led by Terry Venables.
Yeah.
He controlled and balanced the egos. Anybody started going off on a bit of a tangent, he was able to pull them back in. I suffered a massive injury in '95 before Euro '96, so I was playing right up until sort of the Christmas of 95, and then had a horrific ankle injury. I remember being stretchered off the pitch with literally my foot facing the wrong way. And all I was saying to the physio was, will I be all right for the Euros? That's all I could think of. It meant so much to me. Not that my Blackburn games didn't, but that was the end of that. That was my goal, was that. And Terry, again, was incredible, because normally most managers wouldn't want anything to do with you at that point. They don't want the other players to know or to see you, because what you've been through and it could happen to them. And Terry said straight away, come and do your rehab at Burnham Beeches. And I was there every England camp. He invited me along, and I did my training on the lawn outside the hotel, and he'd be watching me from his room. So it's all these little moments.
Yeah.
And then Stuart, to be fair to him, shows what a great professional he was, because he then came back into the squad and obviously had an amazing sort of time during the Euros with you guys. But every England game, I was at Wembley, and before every match, I'd start crying.
Oh, no, you babby.
I know. Thanks for the support.
Literally, as we're chatting about what a lovely cohesive team.
Yeah. You flip it out. Pick yourself up, man.
With spotting what it takes to be an exceptional manager, you were on the board the panel that chose Southgate, but you weren't, Graeme, on the panel that chose Tuchel. So how come?
I think they lost my number. It's interesting, because the FA, in the sense that it shouldn't be a shock that they got a former player into the panel to pick an England manager.
Yeah.
But that was one of the first times I think they'd ever done it. And I remember some of the papers going, why would they use Le Saux? Why would he be the one to do it? And it doesn't matter whether it was me or you or anyone, but the fact that Martin Glenn, who was the CEO at the time, who was excellent at the FA, really moved the organisation on, I felt. The fact that he thought, you know what, we need somebody who's had playing experience at that level in tournaments to give a perspective. And all we spoke about with Gareth, and where I felt I was leading that part of the interview, was around the how you make that shirt lighter. How do you create a culture with England that we didn't enjoy? Gareth was obviously part of the squads, Euro 96, World Cup 98. He saw it the same way we did. There wasn't the cohesion. It was the players were more individuals. No one really trusted each other enough, I don't think, post Euro 96 to really give everything to each other and have each other's backs. And that's what you need when you're under pressure.
Was Gareth doing the stuff that he did with the senior team? Was he already doing that with the under 21s?
Yeah, he had. So the things that impressed me with Gareth in the interview were that he absolutely nailed how he was going to bring those players together and get the best out of them. Yeah. I've still got his presentation at home that he did. And honestly, everything that he said he was going to do, you can't say, I'm going to win this. No, this is how I'm going to give ourselves the best chance. And everything he said he was going to do around building the culture and the comfort, I suppose, of these players really feeling that they belong. He did, and more. And it sounds a bit patronising, but I was really proud of him during his whole time that he stuck to that. He was true to that, and it did give England the best chance of success. It really did. I felt that way.
Yeah. I got his number and everything, and I used to text him before games and stuff and say good luck, And I think it was after the Euros when we lost in the final. I was like, mate, I'm so proud of you of what you've done and what you're doing. Yeah. He was brilliant. And the standard that he set, everybody thinks that Tuchel is going to go that one bit further. But that standard that Gareth set is really high.
Yeah. And the margin for error, like you said, the margin for error when you get towards the end of a tournament it's down to individual players, either brilliance or a mistake, handling a situation,
A little bit of luck.
And I think where we still have that handbrake issue is around the final step, and whether that's whether a manager can get us over that, or whether it's down to a player, or like you say, just it's something happening within the game that
so many
gets
things
you
at
over the
play.
line.
Yeah.
And for me, you know, the change is the change, and I couldn't have added anything to the Thomas Tuchel interview. I don't think, you know, in that sense. I think they were clear that he had a pedigree and a personality to do something different to Gareth, and he's showing that already in a way.
Yeah.
He has a different relationship with the players.
Very different personality to Gareth, isn't it?
But 100% it's built on the foundation that Gareth and the players have bought into and built, and we've got to maintain that. Because that playing identity was something that I felt was missing.
Yeah.
You know, playing for your country. You know, we're all proud. We all wanted to do it, but did we really want to do it together, and would we stick together when things were really kicking off?
Yeah. Should we talk about the outfield squad a bit more? Obviously, Bellingham's back. Grealish is definitely not. Quite controversial. There's a best team versus fitting all the best players in debate. Where do you guys sit on it?
I think we should have a look at the England teams that we maybe put together. Have you put together an England team, Maisie? No. Oh, well, you can wing it.
I'll just sit and judge.
Sit and judge.
Yeah, goal is easy, isn't it?
Okay.
So I mean, obviously, I look at this England squad today, and we go straight away. I'll say there's about 700 caveats. Okay, because it's who's available at the time, who's come through. And so with that in mind...
You're saying this in advance of the comments this is all going to get, aren't you?
Seaman in goal.
So who do you go? Do you go with... So I would go Stones and Gay as my two centre-halves.
Yeah.
I've got my notebook here, look.
I know. I've got my
phone.
I
look.
I can't believe I'm reading it without my glasses on as well.
Don't get me started.
But where do you go right back?
So at the moment, Reece James.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but... He's obviously got injury issues.
Yeah.
He gets rotated quite a lot. He's playing midfield, so that's a bit of a question mark above here. I was commentating. I work for NBC, so I was up in Newcastle at the weekend. Tino Livramento against Man City played brilliantly. So younger player, no England experience, but as a right back in that situation against a team as good as Manchester City and Doku, he was outstanding. Now, can he carry on doing that for the rest of the season? Yeah. You know, so he's somebody that I quite like.
Do you think that like Tuchel and like managers nowadays think of, can they step up to the international level, or are they just thinking, no, he's playing well for his club, he'll play well for us? Because it's a big pressure step, isn't it?
It is. There's the pressure of it. The style of football as well is very different, you know, in terms of it's a different rhythm to the game. So there's different qualities.
It was revealed that Southgate used to play the traitors with the squad as a sort of team bonding exercise. But I wondered which ones worked for you guys, which ones didn't. What were the bonding exercises when you were in the squad? What?
During Euro 96, whose room was it? Ince's room was called the Queen Vic.
No.
It was, because the lads would go in there, there'd be something to drink. They'd be all watching the telly, but we'd all go in the room. They'd be smoking and all.
Oh my word!
Oh my god!
Yeah,
brilliant.
That, we used to have golf events before every big tournament.
Yeah. And for someone who's not a golfer, that was like my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
I'd be like, can we not do the Guardian crossword? Team Guardian crossword bonding or Trivial Pursuit?
Guys, it's seven letters.
Because you're stuck in a hotel for ages.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. And I remember Graham Taylor once took us. So we're in a hotel for, I don't know, about a week or whatever it was. It's all right, lads. We're going out for a dinner somewhere else, somewhere different. We went to another hotel, to a private room. We had this comedian who passed out.
No.
Because he weren't funny. He proper lost it.
No.
And passed out when we were like...
Oh, I can relate to that.
What do you mean? He passed out because he'd had such a bad gig?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that?
No, I've never heard of anybody pass out. But this summer, the Lionesses, Serena, asked me and Jill Scott to do a sort of pub quiz meets
Live at the Apollo.
Sort of comedy set, yeah. And the end result was obviously, because I have never been a footballer and Jill isn't and has never been a comedian, the end result was like some weird like 2-woman hen do performance. And it was obviously in this like unreal hotel in Zurich, and we'd done something at St George's Park a year before in the run up to Christmas, like Secret Santa thing, where Jill was Santa and I was an elf, and we were like handing out these silly little presents. And I didn't know how it had gone, to be honest, because I don't know what is normal in a football scenario for a team bonding thing. No, I could tell by their faces this isn't normal. But Serena apparently really liked it, so she asked Jill and me to do something for the Euros. So we fly out on the day, and I'm meant to get there at like 2 p.m. and have, me and Jill are meant to have like 4 hours to kind of go through the questions and some little gags and stuff. My flight is so delayed that I get there with 18 minutes to get from the airport to the hotel because they're all on strict timings. Yeah. I get there, I'm so hot and sweaty and stressed, and Jill is like, "Oh, don't worry, they're just in the room next door. I think they think it's Adele." I said, "What do you mean? What do you mean they think it's Adele?" She went, "I think they think the surprise is Adele." I went, "What do you mean surprise? Do you mean they don't know?"
Oh, my
Jill,
word.
what's happened? And she went, "Oh, yeah. Basically, in the run-up to the... when like you're doing all the press in the run-up to a tournament, loads of the journalists have been asking, what do you like listening to in your downtime? Who do you like that's not a footballer, that's an inspiring figure?" All of those questions.
No.
And Jill said that basically all the girls had been sort of semi-deliberately replying Adele because they really wanted a performance from Adele. And they were like, if we all
'Cause that's how it
collectively
works.
feed to the media, we love Adele. Adele's people might be like,
Oh, yeah.
this is a great thing, to be with. And so then apparently that morning, Serena had been like, it's first day of the actual tournament, but not an England game. And she said, we've got a little thing for you tonight after dinner. We've got a special guest. Jill is telling me this with like 2 minutes to go before we go out. And she's like, yeah, apparently Serena said, we've got a special guest. I think you're going to be really excited.
Oh, no.
She's come a
Coming
long way.
from Vegas.
She's flown over. Said something like that. She's flown over. And I'm there, hot, sweaty, fresh off a flight from London City Airport, where one of the rounds that we did was genuinely called Poo or Sex. Oh. And it was me and Jill hiding behind a screen making sounds like, "Oh," and people had to vote whether we were impersonating Poo or Sex. That was the low bar.
Brilliant.
And they
Apparently
were expecting
Adele
bloody
does
Adele.
good noises like that.
Yeah, I love that track
she's-
of hers.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The expression.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever walked out to a group of what you regard as your heroes who are all going, it's not her.
It's not Adele.
It's
Can we
not her."
go?
Yeah,
One of those.
basically.
Oh,
Were you,
I'm
like,
sure they weren't. I'm sure they loved
proper
it.
nervous as well.
So nervous because it's
Yeah.
like it's never going to feel like an actual stand-up gig, is it?
Yeah.
It's not going to
No.
feel.
No.
Everything is against it.
Yeah, and you must have felt the pressure David feels as a goalkeeper because you were carrying Jill Scott, surely, from the comedy point of
absolutely.
view.
Have you ever met her? Dry as a bone.
Right,
But like, she's known as the Joker in that group. They were all like, "Oh, Jill," and because she's a footballer, that's funny. When she
Yeah.
comes out with stuff, they're like, "That's good."
Yeah,
That.
yeah.
I'm a comedian who can't
You've
play
got to be
football,
good.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm the other way
You've got to be
round. It
extra
doesn't
funny.
help.
No.
Yeah.
No. So they weren't on your side.
Tough gig.
Tough gig.
Yeah.
But you
I
didn't
think-
pass out.
No, exactly.
No.
I mean,
Do you know who
that's-
would have? Adele.
Adele. Yeah, exactly. My sort of team bonding, Chelsea, we went a couple of times, we went paintballing,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
giving,
yeah.
giving Dennis Wise a paintball gun, not a great thing.
Really?
He goes rogue very
Really?
quickly. Yeah. You can imagine. I don't really need
golf
to.
term for him is out
Yeah.
it, that nasty 5-footer.
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
imagine him just like, how everybody else stays sort of like, they do it in like little stages,
Yeah, no, he'd go.
hide
He
then
goes
run.
all in.
Just running, just screaming the whole time.
Like Bugsy Malone, meets Born on the 4th of July
Yeah,
or whatever it is.
exactly.
Yeah.
We used to have,
So-
well, it's quite famous. We used to have a Tuesday club.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so like all the lads would go out on a Tuesday. So this was in the time when you weren't always playing midweek. And George knew that we were going to go out, so he would give us a really hard physical session Tuesday morning. We'd be off Wednesday, back in training Thursday. But, and then like everybody would go, and you didn't have to stay all night. Some of them Okay, some of them took it to a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday club, but it was team bonding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
On a
really
weekly
good.
basis.
We had
Yeah.
some great times.
Yeah.
We got into a bit of trouble sometimes and that, but it really worked.
Yeah, and it's sort of, I think that's where the culture of football definitely changed, wasn't it? It was that
Yeah.
period when we were playing where it went from that was the sort of mainstay, it was very
Yeah.
common,
Yeah.
to then all of a sudden it becoming
It was
less and less and less in the Wenger era where
It was
sort of...
when Arsenal
yeah.
came in, that
Yeah.
was just, you've got no chance.
And the more
Really?
European,
Yeah.
the more international players that came in, they were like, "What do you mean? You have a
playing?
drink during
Yeah.
the week, you know?"
Yeah.
I remember Patrick Vieira, like on one of his first trips of the Tuesday club, he's like watching Steve Bald went to the bar and he brought back about 22 pints of beer or something on it.
Yeah.
Threw it down and Patrick was like, oh my
Absolutely.
God. But they would they'd rather have a coffee and a cigarette.
Yeah.
Or like
a really nice
double
glass of
whiskey,
red or
a
whiskey,
double whiskey
yeah.
or something like that.
Can you imagine introducing Patrick Vieira to pork scratchings? I mean, that's a clash of
Scampi
culture.
fries.
Scampi fries. So we had
Scampi
one
fries.
one paintball. George Weah played for Chelsea for a little period.
I know.
He came to Chelsea.
Yeah.
World Player of the Year, and he came to Chelsea towards the end of his career. Lovely guy. I mean, so much fun, talented, brilliant football player. But he was with us when we went on one of our paintballing. Okay, and so he's thinking, what the heck is all this about? And so we start this paintball game and we play a few games, and by the end of it, we're all getting ready to go, and we're like, "Where's George?" And no one could find him, and we're going, "George, we're going now, and he didn't come out from wherever he'd hidden himself. And then it was only afterwards where we eventually coaxed him out from, he'd built basically his own
little fort.
fortress. Yeah, exactly. and he'd basically, it's awful really, because he'd been in Liberia when there was a civil war.
Oh no! So you just
So he
taken him into
basically
some
went-
triggering experience, real life.
No.
Let's take you back to the most traumatic point of your life and reenact it now for you.
then-
What a lovely team bonding exercise.
Exactly.
That worked.
Oh my God.
Share your trauma and we'll reenact it. Oh my
Isn't that
God!
just awful?
Yeah, fair enough. I'm guessing you didn't sign up for a second
No,
session.
no, he didn't sign up for
the
the next team
paintballing.
bonding when we had it. He
No.
wasn't up for that.
What was the second team bonding?
I
Bomb
can't
disposal.
remember. Bomb disposal.
Oh God.
So we're bonding backfires.
Yeah. Oh, that's brutal.
That's
That.
brutal.
Yeah.
Right, thanks. That's all we've got time for on this week's Football So What. A huge thanks to both Maisie Adam and David Seaman. Thank you very much. There'll be more episodes dropping regularly. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share your thoughts in the comment section, and check out the channel for more content. Goodbye.